Hi, this is Mrs. Oakley, and today we're going to be looking at Unit 9, Lesson 1. By the end of this lesson, I want you to be able to solve an equation using the inverse operation. Okay, so what is an equation? An equation is a mathematical statement that uses an equal sign to show that two expressions are equal. So an example of this is 9 plus 3 equals 12. Here's an expression, right? Here's an expression, and they're equal. 9 plus 3 is 12, and 12 on the other side is equal to 9 plus 3. So two expressions that are equal. All right, so here we have some equations, and they want us to find the solution because many equations include a variable, and to solve an equation, you have to find the variable that makes that equation true. So we're going to do that using mental math, and then I want to show you how to check your answer. So let's look at this first one. X minus 2 equals 7. Well, thinking about it, I know that if I put 9 in place of x, 9 minus 2 equals 7. And I can come over here and I can prove it. Why is that true? Well, let's see. 9 minus 2 equals 7. Both sides are the same, right? I have 7 on this side, on the right side of the equal sign. And 9 minus 2 is 7, so this is equal on the left side of the equal sign. All right, so let's look at this next one. 6 plus k equals 8. Well, I know if I add 2 to 6, I get 8, and I can prove it. Remember, 6 plus 2 equals 8. All right, let's try another one. Here we have 9 equals w plus 5. Well, I think the answer is 4, and I can prove that. 9 equals 4 plus 5. Okay, go ahead and pause this video and try these last two yourself, and then come back and see if you got these answers correct. All right, so for this fourth one, you should have put your answer in as 13 because 10 equals 13 minus 3. And then for number 5, you should have said that the answer was 6 because 2 equals 8 minus 6. Great job. All right. Now, what is the inverse operation that I talked about in our objective? Well, inverse are the opposite. It's an operation that undoes, there we go, undoes the other one. So addition, anytime you add, the opposite is to subtract. And anytime you multiply, the opposite is to divide. So to solve a one-step equation using inverse operation, you first need to locate the variable, determine the operation tied to the variable, then use the inverse or the opposite on both sides of this equal sign to solve, and then check your solution. Now, this sounds kind of confusing. I get it. But let me show you how this works. It's actually quite easy. The reason I'm showing you this is you're going to say, well, I know how to do this in my head. I can do mental math. But as you get older, you're going to get bigger and problems that you're not going to be able to use mental math. It's going to be a lot more work. So I want to show you how to work this out. So first off, we're going to first locate the variable. So here we have x. The next thing is to see what is the operation. Well, it's x minus. So we have subtraction. Now, if you remember, and I'm going to go back a slide, if you remember subtraction, the opposite is addition. So coming back here, instead of saying x minus 3 equals 4, I'm going to do x minus 3. I'm going to keep it the same for a moment. But now I'm going to add the 3. But if I do it to one side, I have to do it to the other side. And here's what happens. We get x 3 plus So if I take 3 away and I add 3, I get 0, right? If I owe somebody 3 and I give them that $3, I don't owe them anymore. So that part goes away and we're left with 4 plus 3 is 7. Now, I can prove this, right? I can prove it, and I'm going to come right up here and I'm going to plug it in. I'm going to say 7 minus 3 equals 4. And I just proved that it was true. Okay? All right, let's go over to the next one. Now remember, first, find the variable. Second, identify what it's asking you to do. So we're going to say 15 equals k minus 8. Remember, keep it the same. But instead of that, we're going to add 8. So we don't owe them anymore. But if I do it to one side, I have to do it to the other side. So here I get 15 plus 8 is 23 equals, well, if I owe 8 and I give that person 8, I have nothing left except for the k. So k is equal to 23. Well, let's see if that's true. Okay, so if I say 15 equals 23 minus 8, yep, that's true, because if I take 8 away from 23, I get to 15. All right, here we have some different ones. We have some addition. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to say plus 5 equals 16. Now remember, the opposite of addition is subtraction. So subtracting 5, and that equals, I had 5, but I gave it away. I have 16, and I take 5 away, and I get x is equal to 11. So let's see if that's true. So if I come back and I use the original equation, and instead of putting x though, I put 11 plus 5 equals 16. Yep, that's what we would get. We proved it's right. All right, here we go. One more. 13 equals 9 plus r. So we're gonna, 9 is being added, so we're gonna subtract 9. Subtract 9. I get r over here. This had 9, took 9 away. 9 away from 13 gives me 4. So if I go back up here and I say 13 equals 9 plus 4, is it true? Yes, it is. All right, now it is your turn to try. Go ahead and pause the video and then come back and see if you got them correct. Remember to prove your work. All right, so for this first one, you should have said plus 10 and plus 10. Okay, so then you should have gotten n equals 14. And you should have proved it by saying 14 minus 10 equals 4. Good job. Okay, so if I'm subtracting 9, I have to add 9 to this side, add 9 to this side. That gives me 36 equals C. So let's prove it. Let's make sure it's true. So 27 equals 36 minus 9. That's right. Good job. Okay, down here we have addition. So we're going to subtract 3. Subtract 3 on both sides. 15 minus 3 is 12. Had 3, gave away 3, so I have nothing except for m. So let's prove it. 15 equals 3 plus 12. Absolutely. All right, last one. Minus 6 minus 6. W equals 28. So let's see if that's true. If I say 28 instead of W plus 6 equals 34, that is 100% true. All right, you are done with Unit 9, Lesson 1. Go ahead and head back to Classcraft, and I will see you for Lesson 2.